Progress. Progress.
All right, everybody. Well, let me get started. I know there's people that are going to be joining us, but wanted to, you guys can hear me okay? Okay, good, good. So, what I'd like to do is I have my business partner just called. He's with his mom at the hospital. So, I'm just going to be leading the call today, but I have a couple of kind of bullet points I want to share with you guys. But I wanted to know, first and foremost, is there's anything specific that you out there recruiting, what you're doing out there that I can kind of address at first, kind of get the ball rolling. I'm going to share a few tips today after that about focus, your vision, and having that confidence factor, and then also asking for what you want. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of ways to boost your business simply by asking for what you want, and then the 5 ways on how to ask for you want specifically. So like when you're recruiting, you're not trying to, I hate that word prospect, or I even hate that word recruiting someone. What I really like is asking like questions, seeing how I can fill a gap, fill a void, when it comes to recruiting both men and women. But then also like for you guys' perspective, whether you're a woman or a man, like questions about even the opposite sex, like, okay, how, I'm having trouble. Like a lot of girls like to recruit other girls, but they might not understand how to recruit guys. And then if you're a guy, it's like, well, you only want to go with the guys, but you're kind of leaving all the money on the table without, introducing this to other women who probably have a lot of husbands, but they're just rocking and rolling. They love what we do. So I wanted to kind of open it up just to get the ball rolling, to kind of break some ice, just on any specific questions you guys might have on some of that stuff, so that we can kind of address that now. And then I do have kind of a leadership lesson that I can get right into, but I'd like to get some engagement and just like, hey, what are you guys dealing with? It's the beginning. It's still like first week or second week of the month of March. This is one of the longest months, one of the best months for health and wellness. So is there anything I could do to be of assistance and just kind of meet you where you're at right now? And then I'll get into some of the things that I think that will be then beneficial. So please don't be shy either when you're on these calls. It's okay. You don't have to put your camera on if you're driving or something like that. But if you want to unmute and just say, hey, Todd, it's so and so. I got a question. You just have to press the unmute button, you guys. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. No question.
Hold
Okay.
on,
No.
Todd. Hold on, Todd. It's Bill. I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Bill.
I was talking with a fitness studio owner the other day, and she said she loves the sound of it. Her only concern is the liability attaching it to her business. How would you address that?
There absolutely is no liability attaching it to her business. Well, I don't even know what she means by that. There is no liability because she's just simply a brand partner that pays the $79. And then what she does is she refers out
Okay.
to her website. Now, let's say, Bill, she's just talking to you, and let's say you're a customer. So then you're going to go on her website. Yes, it's her website, but that doesn't really matter because she's going to fill out a questionnaire, or you're going to fill out a questionnaire on her website. Let's say you're a potential customer. And then because of HIPAA law, like she doesn't know. I mean, she probably says, hey, what are your goals, whatever, but you're just getting whatever you want, whatever you think is good. And then she's not going to know that. So then you're signing basically a contract to say, hey, this is okay. I consent to that doctor. And then now if you're approved, because not everyone's approved, now you actually have consent, or now you're giving consent to a doctor, and now you're approved, and now you're having a conversation with a doctor. So there's no legalities that's ever going to fall back on her whatsoever. Yeah, because of HIPAA law, number one. And also number two, she's just an affiliate. So she's not prescribing anything.
Yeah.
She's not giving false information. She's not like guiding you on what she thinks you should take because of XYZ.
Yeah. So basically, LEMD is assuming the liability.
Yeah, liability. I mean, the docs. No, they are. I mean,
Yeah.
LEMD is giving access to a telehealth system across the United States of
Okay.
America and all 50
So the
states.
doctors are assuming.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's
Okay.
the one that's giving consent, or whoever is doing that. But a brand partner, we're not liable. Like it's not like if you had an issue with a GLP-1 and I referred you, it's not like, oh gosh, you got to sue me now. Yeah, I'm just the affiliate. If you do it right, you're just a messenger, right? You're not trying to diagnose, you're not trying to do a personal script. I mean, it's a great question. But I have dealt a lot with like med spas and even doctors, but like last night we had a doctor on our team, that's crushing it. And he's rocking and rolling with this. We have many doctors on my team as brand partners. The other thing that might come up too, just as a general thing, is a kickback law. So we're also fine with that too, because the kickback law is if a chiropractor is referring a heart surgeon, a client, and then they're giving a prescription or something like that. That's called the kickback law. So that you can't do that. But since they're just a brand partner, they're just referring out. Cool. All right. If you're just joining us, I do have a great some leadership lessons and some tips. But if you guys have any like questions real quick you want to get through, I just want to make sure I meet you guys where you're at, because the lesson today is really going to help you kind of position your daily routine, your health journey, but then also like how to ask for the sale, and really kind of do what I do. And you can definitely recruit a lot of brand partners and a lot of customers. But with that said, does anyone have any specific questions that I can just address now? Let's give it another 5 minutes, and then I'll get into the lesson, if that's okay. And you guys don't be shy either, please. It's okay. You don't have to put your camera on. You just say, hey, Todd, it's so and so. I have a question. Just to kind of break the ice. I just want to I also helps me to know where you're at too, like what you guys are dealing with in the marketplace. Anybody? Okay, so let's kind of go through this then. So I do have some cool things I want to share with you. So I want to start with the power of focus. And yes, we have this as a men's call, but again, it's not like women are not invited. So women, obviously, you're going to build a team that's going to be a lot of women, because you're going to attract a lot of people like yourself, and you're also going to have men come on board, like a Bill, right? And someone that could be a husband, someone that's a boyfriend. And the cool thing about the focus here is peptides is very sexy for both men and women. I've been in skincare many, many years ago. I built a team of 100,000 people, and I thank God. I mean, I kind of got made fun of for a while. I'm in skincare, and oh, that's the Todd, the skincare guy, and it was just weird. I kind of embraced it and just made fun of myself for like 7 years while I'm making 100 grand a month. But it was a little bit weird for me, to be honest with you. But here, it's not weird at all. So if you're a woman, not weird. A man, not weird. It's super cool. Whether you're a bodybuilder, both men and women, or if you're really out of shape and you're getting, in just better shape, the power of focus is number one. What we're doing for people is you're really making a huge difference out there in the marketplace, right? So like we are in the health and wellness space. I can't think of any other better profession where I can go work out, get healthier, understand what the peptides that I'm putting in my body do. And of course, through Chat GPT, one of my recommendations is to get laser focused on just the educational piece of this is yes, be on the Zooms, right? Be on the Zoom on Tuesday night is our team call. Thursday night is the educational series. I always tell both men and women, the key to build an organization. So I don't know how many of you want to build a huge organization, but the key is you got to get plugged in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, last night was a Monday, and those three people that shared are amazing people, and they're on our team. But every week, it's like, okay, what can I do like bare minimum? Because again, a lot of you might be stay-at-home moms, or you're busy moms or dads, and you just don't have a lot of time. And one of the things that comes up, and it's actually in my notes, I want to talk about the feeling of being overwhelmed. Whether you're a man or a woman and you have a full-time job or whatever, listen, I've been doing this for 24 years. The only reason that someone feels that feeling of overwhelmed is there's just so much information. They don't know where to turn. They're just like, okay, what do I do? And just, remember this, a confused mind does nothing. So if you're in the chat, how many of you have ever been confused? Just put a one so I know who I'm talking to, that you've been confused. In Ellie, you're just like, what do I plug into? Is if you guys can just say, you've been confused, right? Let's see if I see the chat. Okay. You guys, please, like, I want to just engage with you, or you guys can even just put your unmute and say yes. Okay. Because I just want to make sure, like, I'm talking to the right people. Okay. Yeah. So, and I get that because if you go check your email today, it's like, okay, Ellie probably emailed me. They just emailed me again. So this is probably the fourth email that I got today. and it was the March 10th weekly updates, right? And it's about MOTC. Now, I love these emails because I read every single one of them. So definitely it's important if you can read your emails. But the other email that I got twice today on top of this was tomorrow's Clover call, the recognition call. So I'm just saying, like, if you're like thinking, oh my gosh, like, okay, what do I plug into? Oh my gosh, that call tomorrow is during the day. I work a job. Here's the deal. Always think about the average person. Okay, the person that only has 5 to 10 hours a week, can they do this type of business? The answer is yes. Okay. So one of the things that we want to do here is say every Tuesday night, you want to plug in the shots of joy. So if you're taking notes, just write this down. And then I'll get into the core meat and potatoes here. But in order for you to recruit someone, in order for you to build a brand partner team, you have to think like me. And what I mean by that is, okay, how can I build all 50 states, thousands of people or hundreds of people that all produce, and I can literally, and I just booked a trip to Maui just right now at the end of April. How can I go to Maui at the end of April for just 5 days and just not worry? Okay, the only way that you could do that and still get paid, and I'm not talking about just a vacation once a week because a lot of you can already do that, obviously, if you have a job, but I'm talking about this would be like the third vacation in the past 90 days for me. It's just because like I want to make sure like while I'm gone or if I'm traveling, I still get paid. My numbers are going up. It's increasing every single month by 10%, 20%, 30% or more. And the only way to do that is to get the mindset of if I bring on a bill and Bill says, I'm busy, 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 here's the deal. I love what we're doing, but I'm not sure if I can do this. I want Bill or any of you to think I can get on a Tuesday night call for 30 minutes. No problem. I can commit to that. I can get on an hour call on Thursday to learn all about peptides or at least get the replay. The problem with the replay, though, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're bringing on a male or female, if you're constantly hearing, oh, I'll just get the replay, the statistics, I don't know what the statistics are, but very few people actually listen to the replay. So would you guys agree? Like, once it's like over, it's kind of old news, and this business is constantly evolving. I mean, the fact that Peptide Sciences just went out of business last weekend is massive for us because there's just going to be a lot more people searching for the way where they're going to buy peptides. I mean, the bodybuilding championship just was a few days ago. People all, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the world championships just happened. He was there. They have peptide places everywhere talking about it, even in the bodybuilding world. Like it's constantly evolving. So if you're constantly like, well, I can't make that, I can't make this, I can't make that, I'm just going to get the replay, it could shift a week later. Like the whole thing could shift, the marketplace. So it's just the type of business that we're in. So I would say the biggest thing to get focused, the power focus, is just if you have like a whiteboard, if you have like a planner, like I have a leather bound planner, just write down every week. My weekly routine is going to be Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. And then if you can make obviously the men's call, the replay, that's great. Now we also have other stuff. Now you're more than welcome to get on the other stuff. Does that make sense, everybody? Now the daily routine here, your fortune, I heard this said many, many times, but your fortune is found in your daily routine. So if you want to really build a fortune and you want to see the compounding effect, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's called really the slight edge. And I've had a mentor for years. He wrote the book, The Slight Edge. So the slight edge is this, and it's ingrained in my brain so much where it says, it's the simple little disciplines compounded over time and by the act of doing something. So for instance, before I got on the Zoom today, I was on Facebook, and here's a tip for you. If you guys go to your Facebook, you could do this right now in front of me, that's fine. But let's just do this as an exercise. So I'm going to my Facebook, you can go to your Instagram, you can go to TikTok, whatever. And I'm just going to go to my latest post, and I'm going to click on the likes. Okay, so I click on the likes. And what I'm doing is I'm going to press message, and I messaged like 4 or 5 people before the call real quickly. And I'm going to click on, one of the message, and this girl is named Tammy. Okay. Tammy, I exposed. Now it looks like, because now I can see my direct messages. So I talked to her April 29th, 2025. Oh my God. That's when I made the decision to go all in. And this poor Tammy girl didn't sign up. She didn't even, she like goes, she looked at it, but didn't say anything. So now I could go back. Hey, Tammy, thanks so much for liking my last post. Hey, how's life? How are you doing? Hey, I noticed, man, it's crazy. I shared what I was doing with you, a live webinar. Here's what's happened in the past 8 months. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've traveled to 7 countries. We've helped 4 people hit executive. Like, it's crazy what's going on. Would you like another look at this? Boom. See, I wouldn't know that unless I went on my Facebook today and clicked on Tammy. And then what I do is I have a prospect silly little notebook. It's not a special CRM. You don't have to do this. Maybe get a CRM. I don't think any one of you need a CRM until like you're making 10 grand a month or more, to be honest with you. So, because why waste your money, right? So here you get a notepad and pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my prospect list, which I already wrote her name down, and I literally write her name down, and okay, this is what I said. Now the daily routine, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but I don't care if you're in real estate. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 24 years. I have these things called KPIs, key performance indicators. And all that simply means is what are the most what are the prioritized things that I have to do, not what I need to do or what I should do, but what I must do. And a must is way better than I should do. So this is just Monday through Friday. I try to take the weekends off. That doesn't mean I still don't work out, read books, work a little bit here and there. But let's just say Monday through Friday, I treat this like a business. So I have what's called the 10, 10, 25. Okay, so 10, 10, 25. Now this could be 2, 2, 0 for you right now. So let me explain what the 10, 10, 25 is. So again, the power of focus. I was brand new April 29th. So I literally inboxed her April 29th, 2025. Hi, Tammy, quick invite tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm hosting a live Zoom with my business partner, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I did my first webinar where I launched my LEMD business. And the whole point of that is that was about a year ago. So I made the decision and I was brand new. And then here, I think I hit executive director like 4 months later. Okay. How I hit executive director is I reached out to 10 people a day and I followed up with 10 people a day. And then now that I have a couple thousand people in the organization after, I don't know, 8 or 9 months, 25 to me is just reaching out to 25 of you all. So like if I talk to Jaime, if I talk to any of you like Kim or Bill, that would count. So if I reach out to Bill, hey Bill, what's going on, man? How's life? Is there anything I could do for you? What do you need from me? I'm trying to find out, hey, how can I meet you where you're at? I mean, I'm not trying to make everyone a millionaire. Bill might just say, man, I have a couple questions about Motzi. I was wondering if you can, okay, perfect. So I talked to Bill a little bit, takes 60 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever. That's 1 out of 25. So you might say, well, Todd, I'm new. I don't have a team. It doesn't matter. You have to visualize that you're going to have a team and that the power is every day you're kind of encouraging your team. You're not coddling. You're not trying to babysit anybody. You're just saying, hey, I'm here. What do you need? How can I help you? And I think that's the biggest thing is if you want to take notes on this, the biggest thing that I learned is we have to learn how to meet people where they're at. Now, for me personally, I'm a very driven person. I always tell people if you watched me every day, you would probably say, yeah, I get it. And I'm not trying to brag. That's not a brag. It's just basically if you watched me Monday through Friday, you would say, I get why he's maybe successful, with this business because I'm doing this stuff. I'm doing the 10, 10, 25. I'm reading 10 pages of a good book every single day. I'm journaling in the mornings. I'm working out. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing the 10,000 steps and my cardio. I'm on peptides, by the way. Hint, hint. People that get into this business that don't immediately get on the peptides, I really question them because I'm like, well, how can you market something that you don't really get on an experience? Well, I'm already on a GLP-1. Totally cool. I get that. If they're already currently on a GLP-1, I'm not trying to, okay, maybe they have a month left, 2 months left. Okay, great. But that doesn't mean they can't get on NAD plus or they can't get on a GHQCU or they can't do something because I want all of you to experience when you order a product on the website, it comes right to you in 2 to 3 or 4 business days. And now you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And it's part of that lifestyle. Does that make sense, everyone? So does anyone have any questions about anything so far about KPIs? If you're brand new, it could be maybe 2 exposures a day, 2 follow-ups a day. It could be, you have one person, you don't want to overwhelm them either. So don't be like, you reach out to them 3 times a day or something. You're just trying to help support, get people onboarded. I'm going to get into some statistics too as well, but does anyone have questions about anything so far? If not, no problem. Okay. So let's talk about the power of focus when you're building an organization. Again, how many of you put a 1 in the comments if you want to know the truth about how to make a lot of money? And I'm not just saying that to hype you. I want to, okay, yeah. So how you make the most amount of money and also not lose your focus. And let me tell you something. You also want to write this down. The great Jim Rohn said, don't, it's about disappointments, right? You have to discipline your disappointments. I mean, every day I'm disappointed. Every day I'm disappointed in humanity. Every day I'm disappointed when I get on podcasts and I hear all the negative news that's happening. I mean, you're going to be disappointed in people. But what happens, you have to compartmentalize that disappointment with discipline because you're going to recruit people. And I'm going to give you guys the truth today. I'm literally going to give you the hard truth, but it's a good truth. And the truth will set you free on how to recruit and who's going to do anything. So statistically, you want to work with the 80-20 rule. Okay, so the 80-20 rule is very simple. If you recruit 100 people, only 20 of them are going to do something, 80 of them are going to do nothing. And you could be the best sponsor, you could be the best leader, you could literally be John C. Maxwell, you could be Tony Robbins. And he's like, I'm going to do Ellie, I'm Tony Robbins. And he goes, he gets 100 people, his biggest fans. Only 20 people out of the 100, even if you're Tony Robbins himself or John Maxwell, are going to do anything. So don't ever take it personally. The four, what's that book? Don't take anything personally. The four, not commandments, but a great book I read. But it's like be impeccable with your word, but never take anything personally. Don't assume anything, right? It's one of those things where you can't take it personally. I know it's hard not to, but let's just talk about the law of seven. A lot of you probably haven't heard this, right? Yeah, agreements. Thank you. The four agreements. The law of seven is something I've been promoting and training on for years on stages all across the country, even in stadiums. I trained on this in front of 30,000 people before. And some people it really clicks on. So I love the law of seven because of Vegas. I love going to Vegas. I don't really gamble. I used to live there. I used to live in a penthouse for a year, never even gambled, but I just love the whole Vegas scene. I love the food, some of the best food in the world. But if you're on one of those things, right? Cash machines, get 777. It's like, okay, what is it? Jackpot, right? 777 jackpot. So I want you to think like jackpot when it comes to hitting advanced executive, making multiple six figures a year. So how do you hit the jackpot with LEMD? It's called 777. So for every seven, I'm trying to do these numbers right, so you might want to write them down because you don't want to get confused. So every seven personal brand partners that you sponsor, one out of seven is going to be a producer. Okay. Now I'm going to go deeper on this, and this is the power of focus. Because if you understand if what I need to do every day is going to equal the goal of getting X amount of brand partners per month, and then I'm telling you, this is life-changing information if you really follow me. So one out of seven is going to produce. Okay. Now, if you recruit seven, or when you do, what are you going to do with those seven? You're not giving them away to people. You're putting front line to you. Okay. So in your notes, you're kind of drawing out, here's you. You got seven people frontline to you as brand partners. Now, what you do with those seven people, now you might get one this week, you might get two next week, okay? You might get zero the third week. So I'm not saying you have to get seven in all in 1 month. And again, I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody. This could take you a year. It could take you a day, okay? Some people are going to run, some people are going to walk. But eventually, if you want financial freedom, this is the path that you have to follow. There's no like, oh, that's good, but I'm gonna, but maybe I'll do like one out of four. No. It's not. This has been proven time and time again. I've been in this industry for 24 years. I've seen it all. I built teams of hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. I built the biggest South Korean team in Isagenix history. I put 3,000 Koreans in a room. I didn't even go to Korea. So like I flew them all to Arizona. So I've seen it all. I've been in Isagenix, Nerium, prepaid legal, affiliate marketing with Kevin O'Leary. It doesn't matter if it's affiliate marketing. It doesn't matter if it's MLM. It's a law of seven. So once you get seven people, what do? We're going to onboard each and every one of them. And I text a lot of you last week. We have we have an onboarding website now with Shots of Joy. Then we have a workbook people can print out, and then questions that you want to ask. So every person, you just want to think like this. You don't want to be mother hen. You want to be a great leader. You want to guide people. So think like you're a travel agent, or think about travel agent versus a tour guide. So all of you need to kind of get in the mindset of not a travel agent. So a travel agent with LEMD is someone that says, I don't need the peptides. I'm not really going to use the products. I'm not going to eat 1 gram of protein per day, eat my protein, work out, lift weights. I'm just a travel agent. I'm just going to represent Ellie. I'm going to do my thing. I don't really believe in the pep. That's a travel agent. A tour guide is someone that is mostly all of you guys. It's like, I'm in it. Here's my story. I'm all in. I love it. I can't imagine my life without peptides. That's me. Like I'm on 4. I love it. Like truly, this is the first time in my career that I love what I really market more than I've ever had. I'm working out twice a day sometimes, playing pickleball all the time at night in Tampa. Like I'm feeling great for 45, right? So once you get 7, you're just being authentic. You're just being a tour guide where you're like, hey, here's what I'm doing, and you're giving them the onboarding. You're guiding them to their success. Okay, so they're getting onboarded. Now you're kind of sitting back. And you're like, okay, who's gonna reach back out to you? You don't know. So this is like a crapshoot. Like you don't know who's going to the people that you think are going to crush it are usually not the people that crush it. The people that you plug in and you're like, I don't know about her. You're like, wait a minute. She's pretty cool. She's responding to my text. She's grateful. She's appreciative. She really is responding a lot every time she's on the Zooms. I see, hey, that's my girl. That's my girl. That's Kelly, or that's Dan, or that's John. They're commenting on the Zoom. Okay, okay. But don't think too much of that first, because sometimes you'll have cheerleaders that do nothing on every Zoom, and you're just like, oh my gosh, would you sell a peptide? It's been 3 months, bro. So you're gonna have those people too. They just love the community, and you're just like, oh my gosh, just sell a peptide. But you'll finally have 1 out of 7. So what do we do? So once you find that person that produces, this person is going to be quiet. They're not going to want too much from you. They're just going to produce. They're just like, you're just like, awesome. Now the 6, let's talk about the 6. The 6 people, are they going to quit? Well, they could, and just get used to it. It doesn't matter if it's the greatest opportunity on planet Earth. People are going to quit. There's a universe that we live in. There's a lot of atheists. There's a lot of people that believe in God. There's a lot of people that believe that God is the universe. Like we don't want to argue that point today, but we don't know. We don't, everyone believes in certain different things. You can't argue with everybody. Some people might quit and you don't know why, but you can't take it personally. But here's the other thing that you can do. You can get those 6 to just do a few things. So once they do a few things, they can bring on somebody that could be your next leader. So what we call, write this in your notes, it's called tap rooting. So tap rooting is something that I got really good at. And I remember it was years ago. I was in Anaheim, California, where the Angels play. There was a place right next to Anaheim where the Angels play, and I used to go there for events. And I was really down and out. And let me just try to relate to all of you right now, because I'm sure you're feeling like I felt. So this is way before Facebook and social media. This is like 2006, 2007, and I was just like cold marketing people. I would walk up to people at grocery stores. I was doing all that nonsense, but I had to. I was like, "Hey, you look sharp," and what do you do for a living? And I, looking back at it now, I'm like, I can't believe I did that, but I had to. But I had a team going at the time, and I had like 3 organizations, and I just started to be like, well, wait a minute. If I have Jim knows 100 people. So Jim has a Rolodex of 100 people that I might be able to tap through. So this is where it kind of comes to, and I want to kind of go through this real quick too. And I'm going to get to the whole equation of the law of 7. But let's talk about tap rooting a little bit. So with Jim, like he might have 100 people. Now, Jim might not be the guy. Does that make sense, everyone? He might not be the girl. He might not, or she might not be the girl. He might not be the guy that's going to be the person. But I would be here for hours telling you story after story after story of I recruited this guy who got this person who shared this with a woman who took off and made millions of dollars underneath me over the years, right? So what we need to do when you have these 6 out of 7 is you just need to ask, okay, information. So the first thing is ask for information. So who do you know? Let's look at your Facebook. Let's look at Instagram and just kind of understand who that person is. So I would highly recommend you set up a game plan with them. After they do the onboarding, they can set up a call with corporate. You do the onboarding with them, and then you kind of look into like, just ask them some questions. So you're gathering information, number 1. Number 2 is you're helping them ask for business. So you can basically say, okay, who are your top 20 out of the 100? Who's your top 10 people that are in the health and wellness space? They love peptides, et cetera. Let's just introduce this to them, and you can even help them. I mean, if you're really a driven person, you can be like, hey, I'll help you. Who's Stacy? Who's Rochelle? Who's Carrie? Okay, great. And you can even create a text, and we even have that in the onboarding. We can use Chat GPT. Hey, Chat, what's the easiest text? People are going to not feel invasive. They're actually going to respond very nicely. You can create it through AI. You could just create on your own and be like, hey, I'm working with a great company. I'm in the peptide space. I'm fully endorsing EMD. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. And you're just helping Jim expose his first 20 people. Now, out of that, let's say Jim quits, that's okay, but at least you work through Jim. Does that make sense to everybody? If you're, and again, this is pretty easy, because you don't want to like just go recruit 7 people, 6 probably won't do anything, and then you don't even ask for the list of the 6 people. It doesn't make any logical sense, because every dud knows a stud. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not calling these people duds in life or losers. I'm just saying a dud could be someone in this business. There's a lot of duds that are not entrepreneurs, okay? But they're great workers. They're great 9 to 5ers, and that's totally fine. But when it comes to entrepreneur, they don't have the mindset. They don't have a growth mindset. But they might know people like that. So that's important. Now, number three is ask for endorsements, even from these people, or if they're on peptides, ask for a written text. Hey, what do you think about the peptides? And you're starting to collect these text message screenshots of your brand partners and also of your customers that really like a GLP-1. Not all of your customers are going to be brand partners, thank God. So quit wanting what you don't want. We don't want to recruit everybody. Of course, that's not the point of this business. But like I have a client right now, he's in Sarasota, Florida. I got him in my previous business. I made him a multimillionaire because I got him millions of dollars from the government. And he owns a couple planes now, and it's really nice because I got him a couple mil. But anyway, he bought 4 peptides off me. He doesn't want to do the business at all. He's an older gentleman. And I asked him the other day, I was like, hey, how's it going? And that's all I asked. I didn't even ask for a testimonial necessarily. He just texted me, this is great, that's great, this has been amazing. So what I'll do is I'll take that screenshot, I'll post it on my story, and I'll track more business. Now, just be careful if they're saying the GLP-1, et cetera, is great. I would just say, hey, could you just rephrase that? Because you don't want to post anything about the specific peptides because Facebook and Meta looks at it as a drug dealer. I'm blackballed until March 19th on my Facebook because I said GLP-1. I didn't even know you can't do that until early this year. So like I'm like block. I'm like suspended until March 19th. So I'm just warning you guys. Even I didn't know that. So, but I'll just say like the text back could be like the peptide therapy, and I'll kind of guide them. But I'm like the peptide therapy that I'm on has been this. I've seen this. I've seen that. This is what's happening, and it's been fantastic. So then I'll use that with other people that hey, these are my personal recruits. You can look at the timestamp. This is his name. So I'm not necessarily always posting it publicly. But what I'm doing is when I do my 10, 10, 25, I'm sharing these personal messages because I'm always thinking, how can I be creative? How can I be different? I'm not an MLM guy. You're not an MLM. What we are is a telehealth prescription peptide affiliate. That's what you guys are. You're a telehealth prescription peptide affiliate. So you're endorsing a company that you believe in with a 503A compounding pharmacy that's at the highest level of testing, American made only. We're not China. We're not research grade. This is at the highest level. You're endorsing it because listen, your life has changed because of peptides. So that's that. Number 4 is ask for top quality referrals. And this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're a telehealth prescription peptide affiliate. So telehealth is really what the W-2. So if you have a W-2 job, telehealth is like part of your health insurance. So this is what my background is. So like what's cool about telehealth because of COVID and beyond is it's 2 a.m. My baby, I have a little baby, let's say the baby's crying. Instead of going to the ambulance and calling 911, I can call and FaceTime a doctor 2 a.m. because of telehealth. So telehealth is a really mainstream thing. That's why I always tell people, how can you think this is an MLM? What MLM has telehealth? None of them. It's just usually supplements or something you could buy at the grocery store. So that's what, again, separates us from all the other companies out there in so many different ways. So it's a telehealth network in all 50 states where all 50 states have all the peptides now. Because when I first got started, California, you couldn't sell one peptide in California. So now all of that is done. All 50 states have it. It's through a telehealth network of doctors. But when you're going back to those 6, ask for top quality referrals. Just about everyone in business knows how to get referrals. So again, get them on the peptides first. They're not going to refer you anybody unless they have a good quality experience getting their peptides. Okay, the next one is ask for more business always. So when you're out there, you can ask for business. Hey, do you know anyone that? And what I love to do is always use like third parties. So if I'm talking to Callie, I'm like, hey, Callie, hey, I know you're super sharp. Man, you probably already have it going on over there. But do you know anyone that could benefit from peptides? So I'm kind of taking her out of the way and I'm saying, hey, do you know anyone that could benefit from peptides? We definitely have some great referral fees. If you're interested, I run an affiliate program with the telehealth prescription peptide kind of program. But if you refer anyone to me, well, the company will actually pay you. Or if you just want to refer me, I'd appreciate it. And Callie's like, well, well, what peptides do you have? I mean, I've heard all about it. In fact, I was looking on getting on GHCQ for skin, or I was looking to get. Do you have MOTS-c? Oh yeah, it just came out. Yeah. So now I can kind of go back to that first party, right? And I'm like, oh well, maybe it's for you. Let's talk. So I'm always trying to like not go right in their face and be like so direct, like, hey, you need peptides. But I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of peptides? Cool. What are your thoughts on that? Do you know anyone that could maybe potentially use them? So it's a very non-confrontational. It's almost like dating. I talk about this a lot. Like, and I always come from a male's perspective. So I know we have women on the call, but like obviously a woman usually doesn't ask men out a lot. I mean, that's kind of our job, right? Is to ask, prepare a date, ask out. So we don't want to come off needy as men asking a girl out. So if I'm asking a girl out, I'm like, hey, I really, really need you to go on the date with me. I'm like, no, hey, I don't know if you're open. I don't know if you are. Great if you are. If not, no problem. Like I'm very cool and calm about it. Like I'm not weird about it. So I think so many times coming from an MLM, this is not the same thing. So you don't have to be super weird about anything. You have so much power behind what we have because it's so sexy. What we do is so cool. I mean, every day I wake up, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's so freaking cool. And I'm obsessed. Like I'm on my website. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could get on all these peptides. I'm listening to Dr. Jason Pensek on his Instagram. He's talking about MOTS-c today. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I didn't even know the mitochondria and all this does, even for bone structure and building more bone. The older we get, we're losing bone density. I didn't even know MOTS-c actually helps with that. I mean, like, this is insane. So we're not just, digesting or orally taking a vitamin here. These are peptides we're injecting that we're immediately seeing benefits. So anyway, you have so much power. Like you're the really good looking person asking the other person on a date. Does that mean you're the 10? Okay. So why wouldn't they say no? Why wouldn't they say yes to you if you're asking? Does that make sense, everyone, on a metaphorical level? So like you have the 10, you have the power, you have the presence, you have the everything that you have is in front of you. So you want to ask for business. You want to just go out there and just ask. A lot of people don't know how to ask. I'm going to get into this right now. And then the last thing is always ask for feedback. Is if someone says no to you, no problem. I always like to say, hey, do you mind if I keep you informed of my future progress? So we're kind of getting feedback in a certain way. It's like, hey, no problem. It's not for you. It's not for everyone as far as the business goes. But hey, let me ask you a question. Would you mind if I keep you informed of my future progress? And they're like, sure. So now it's sometimes it's hard to say no to people. Like if I was going to say no to you, I'm not interested. It's hard for me to do that because I'm always a yes man. I always I want to people please, just like a lot of you do. But sometimes you just have to say no. But I would feel good about you if you said that to me. If I said no, I'm not interested in peptides. Maybe I don't know much about it. But 6 months from now, I might be your biggest prospect. I might be your biggest leader 6 months from now, and that's happened. So many people a year ago hated GLP-1. They thought it was horrible. Injections are so bad. They thought it was the COVID shot. And now they're like, oh, yeah, actually, I did my research. It's actually, and now they're on the team. So I'm just saying, like, you just don't know how people are evolving. They're seeing all these podcasts now. They're seeing all these doctors talk about it on the mainstream media. They're realizing it has so many health benefits. So always keep that door open. And then also, if someone just flat out says no, just say, hey, is there anything I could do different? Did you not like my approach? Is there anything that, just always try to get better. And I know that sometimes is a little bit intimidating, but I love feedback. I don't like feedback when I don't ask for it. So it's always, you need to ask permission. If, even if you're giving feedback, always say, hey, can I have your permission? I want to give you some feedback. Because human nature, we don't want to just be told feedback, because they're like, well, I never asked you. So that's just another thing, especially when you're coaching people. So when you coach people on your team and maybe they're just not ordering the product and you're kind of frustrated, you're like, well, why am I wasting my time with you? I'm not making any money off this. You could just actually flip it and be like, hey, John, hey, I'm really excited to work with you. Would you mind if I gave you a little bit of feedback from my perspective about the business? And what are they going to say? No. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Okay, here's the deal. From my perspective, the only reason I'm here is because I got on the peptides first and I had to feel like it really worked. I had to see how fast it come from FedEx. I had to see my client portal. Like, let's be honest, John, there's a lot of scams out there. Would you agree? Absolutely. So I don't want to be a part of a scam. So I had to kind of test the waters first. And man, thank God, as soon as I signed up as a brand partner, I got on peptides. So when can you do that? I mean, that'll probably work 9 out of 10 times instead of saying, John, what's up? Or a text, John, you got to get on peptides. Let's go. You got to get on peptides. Anyway, let's talk about 5 things real quick. How to ask. Ask clearly. So you're asking clearly for the sale. Does that make sense? So whatever it is that you want, just be clear. Just like, hey, listen, I want you to take a look at this. When can you watch the video I sent you yesterday? Can you watch it today at 2 o'clock or can you watch it today at 5 o'clock? Give them two options. Can you watch it tonight or tomorrow? Which one works best for you? Don't just say, hey, when can you watch it? It's a not a clear ask. Again, if you have children, your children are like, Mom, when can we eat? Later today? And they're like, I want to eat now. Can we eat right now? Can we eat literally? Like they're going to be very clear. Children, more than anyone, know how to ask clearly on what they want. Okay. So you have to kind of be like childlike when you're asking for something from somebody. Just be like, hey, I'm busy. I'm running a million miles an hour. When is the best time that you could take a look at that website that I gave you? Number two is ask with confidence. The confidence factor matters. Okay. So how do you gain confidence? Through plugging into the system, getting on the Zooms, checking out the WhatsApp 2 to 3 times a day or whatever, listening to the audios, and just getting clear on what's the mission. But the most important thing is your vision. So when people say, Todd, I'm overwhelmed, it's very simply because they lost their vision or they don't even know what the vision is. So especially as a man, and I'm speaking as a man, men are really good at vision. I'm not saying women are not, but men, if you're a woman recruiting a man, just think of Steve Jobs. I'm a visionary. A lot of men see the future. They see, okay, I gotta get right because this is what's coming. And we're good at that as men. So like even a woman trying to recruit a man, that's what you want to focus on. I say, what's your vision for your future? Imagine you looking your best for your wife. Imagine you getting in shape at age 45 like you used to be at 25. Imagine having a 6-figure bank account. Imagine making $10,000 a month in the next 6 months. Men love the vision because they kind of not that women don't, but I'm just saying like that's our thing. And we are kind of daydreamers, but then kind of close it up to ask clearly and ask with confidence and be like, well, I can confidently show you how to do that. Just when you're talking to somebody, as I can confidently show you exactly, like I know a guy. Like, does that make sense? So when you're doing those 3-way introductions too, it's so funny. It's like when you are trying to build a team and you can sign up customers all day long, but when you're trying to get like a brand partner on your team, you want to just get out of the way and be like, hey, I know a guy, I know a lady. And everyone's like, well, who is this person? Oh, this person is leading the national expansion. They're a top executive. They're crushing it. They love helping people. They're making a ton of money and they know all the stuff. So let me just introduce you. But before I do that, make sure that you watch this 5-minute video about Honey Sagari and her vision. Or, hey, maybe you need to watch this Power of Peptides that happened last night. We had a doctor on. We had a gentleman who was a pastor. Now he's a podcaster. And then we also had a couple named Janelle and Nathan. And they're amazing. And just watch this, and then I can hook you up after you watch it. So what you're doing is you're getting someone excited to watch something, and then you're basically saying, I have the hookup. And we do this already, not getting paid for it. I have the hookup. I know a guy or I know a girl, and you edify that guy or girl and just get out of the way. And what I found, and again, this is always like herding cats over 20 years. I don't know why that's so difficult for a lot of people. I don't know why. I wish I could study it more, human psychology, but so many people don't do that. And for me, I've made so much money just getting myself out of the way. And I could sell anything to anybody. I'm a great salesperson because I have 24 years of experience. But when I'm personally recruiting someone myself, I get myself out of the way. So I'm introducing them to Chris or Kelly Hoover, or I'm just trying to just shut up, right? The other psychology side of that is even if you're a great salesperson or you're just amazing, you have so much charisma, those people actually fail a lot in this industry. Well, why do they fail? They fail if they don't get this bullet point because might have all the charisma in the world, they have a great smile, they're good looking, like they're just so good at what they do. Well, 92% of Americans don't want to sell and they're not good at selling. So like if they think that they have to be the charismatic person, the good looking, the tall, the slim, like that's what people are thinking. Like, well, I can't do what she's doing. So I don't have the time, energy, or money to do that. But if you are that person or you're not that person, either way, it's going to work for you. So you don't have to be the great looking or the charisma or know all your facts or be so good at public speaking. That's not what this is about. That's the beauty of affiliate marketing is the beauty of LEMD is you have people like myself and a lot of support that could easily close anyone that you introduce me to. And I could get on Zoom and I could be like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Bill told me a lot about you, Phil. Bill told me that you were a doctor. Is that okay? Perfect. Well, tell me about your practice. Okay, here's how we can maybe work together and collaborate. And I'm just going through. And the guy that was on the Zoom last night, what his name is Lane Sebring. I'm the one that closed him. So like I got on the Zoom originally with him about a month or two ago, and I closed him and got him started and got him to sign up. And now he's doing the power of peptide calls. So I signed up Nathan and Janelle, but I introduced them. Now Lane was from someone else. So it wasn't my personal, but someone else on the team introduced me to Lane. He booked a call with me, and then I got on the Zoom and I closed. And now he's doing the power peptide. So let's just do that with a lot of you when it comes to the brand partner side. But when it comes to customers, you don't need to do that. You could just sign people up. You could share your story. You could use ChatGPT about Tessa Eichelmorland, MOTS-c, if you don't know a lot about it. And that's why getting on a few of those peptides is really good. All right, so a couple last things here is ask consistently. My mentor years ago, his name is Sean. He told me, be the most consistent person in your prospect's life. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say or a weird thing to hear, but I'm like, what does he mean by that? Be the most consistent person in your brand partner's life and in your prospect's life. Well, it just means like they're seeing you on Instagram, you're following them, they're following you, they're seeing your posts. There's just a consistency on social media about your brand and what you're preaching. You're also texting them maybe once a week. You're just consistently there. You guys consistently hear from me on WhatsApp. You're consistently hearing from me on text messaging. So I think I would pass that test of like, is Todd consistent? I think I am. So like you have to kind of think about the psychology of just being a consistent person. People do not trust people that are not consistent, and for good reason. Okay, we're wired that way, especially women. Okay, so if a man is consistent, man, women love that. I've been told that a lot by women and people I've dated is like, Todd, you're just so consistent. I mean, that's an attractive quality about yourself. Now, I'm not saying be crazy consistent, like, text them every day, every hour in the hour. I'm just saying be very cool about it, but be very consistent. Number 4, ask creatively. And this is what we talked about, is getting kind of little texts and screenshots. You're not always trying to follow protocol. You're not just giving Zoom replays out all the time. Sending a voice message is creative. Just being less, just talking less is creative. Just like, hey, Bill, what's going on, man? I'm in the peptide space. I don't know if you're interested, but if you are, let me know. That's it. Like, that's creative, because nowadays it's like this long drawn out text. Hi, Todd, I work, it's like, no, being creative these days is actually doing less. Actually just being cool, being funny is being creative. Like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, listen, cool thing. Got involved with the business now. I don't know if you're even interested, but I love peptides, and I would love to share kind of a before and after with you. I look pretty good. I didn't realize how bad I looked, to be honest with you. So if you want to see it, let me know. Hit me up. And they're going to be like, yeah, what's up, man? It's good to hear from you. Yeah, show me what's going on. I've heard about it. So I've just kind of opened up that I just kind of like laughed a little bit. So it's kind of creative instead of being so like just, chat GPT, AI, and people don't think you're real. And then number 5 is ask sincerely. I think there's something to be said about just being real, authentic with your story, passionate, eager about the future. Because right now, and I'll kind of close with this and I'll open up to a couple questions. Here's where I see this country. I'm on a lot of political podcasts, and for me, I like politics because I have children. So like, I want to know what's going on with Iran. I want to know what's going on with America. And of course, I want to know what's going on with Florida. That's why I moved to Florida from Chicago. And the only reason I'm bringing that up on this call today is I think it's important that we understand our future. So like, when it comes to the job market, if you do have like a corporate job, no problem. That's awesome. And you guys, kudos to you. But I'm just saying, think about people out there that in your network that are just sitting on a job, and AI could replace that job in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months. There's going to be so many jobs that are going to be replaced. Also, there's some irreplaceable jobs, which is great, like being a nurse, being a doctor. AI might do that actually, but being an attorney, I don't think an attorney can be replaced by AI, to be honest with you. There's certain jobs that won't be replaced, but the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of pain. A lot of pain is coming in America. And I've been through this. You've all been through it in 2008. So 2008, there was a lot of pain in the recession. In 1929, there was a lot of pain in the depression, but there's a lot of people that saw it coming, and they actually got more rich. They got more wealthy, not because they did anything bad. So we are in a position now that we have to prepare for what's going on in the health and wellness space. It's flipping. So the whole pyramid for all those years about high carbs and low protein, that flipped with RFK Jr. So we're in a place where AI is going to get more prevalent. We're at war right now with Iran. Inflation is going through the roof. Home prices are skyrocketing in certain markets. Certain markets are great, certain markets are not good. Just think about everything I just said. So real estate agents, real estate brokers, entrepreneurs that are already producing, but their market is going away. Peptides, though, let's talk about peptides. The peptide space, the research market is getting crushed because it's so bad. So I'm so excited about that because that's good. And the compounding pharmacies are not only legit, but the people running our government also thinks they're legit. And they're legalizing 14 to 15 more peptides as of last week. So that the way that we're getting our peptides delivered and being made in America is not going away anytime soon. But just so you know, things are going to keep shifting. There's going to be more peptides introduced. We're a wellness company. We're not a GLP-1 company. 3 years from now, you're going to be able to walk into Walgreens, if not less, and you're just going to get GLP-1 right there, no problem. And I'm not talking about oral drops. I'm talking about like literally injections. No problem. It's not going to, so we're not just a GLP-1 company where that's our number one seller, but things are going to keep evolving. So the timing of this has never been better to go build yourself a big bag of income and to have a monthly residual income come in where everyone wants it. Everyone's intrigued by what we have to offer. But here's the human behavior side of it. I'm not saying any of you are this, but there's some people that are just sitting on their laurels and they're just not understanding it. But then the more I realize why they're not is because most people, they don't see the vision. They're not the Steve Jobs type. They don't. And you can, so what you're trying to look for, kind of going back to the power of focus, is you're focusing right now more on the visionaries. So asking creatively, posting on your Facebook, posting on your Instagram, using your stories. Who here is a visionary? Who here understands where peptide therapy is going? Do some polls. So again, you're not just promoting an actual peptide, you're actually trying to solicit in a positive way visionaries, people that think, people that want a home, people that are tired of their job. They understand that making 100 grand a year in all states, not just California, is not that much. When you're taxed 40% and you have 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, everyone really needs a side hustle. I've been in this thing for 8 months. I mean, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars a month already. And again, it's not bragging. There's people above me that are making 120 plus thousand a month, and they've only been in it for less than 2 years. Where else in America right now can you start in less than 2 years, make over 6 figures a month? There is no business. I don't know what that business is. I've tried them all, and I've never made 100 grand a month in less than 2 years. I made it in like 5 to 7 years, and it wasn't consistent either. The other thing that we have with Elliott compounds, I don't know if you guys know, like a penny doubled every day for 30 days. It's not that much until like the last couple of days. It turns in, I think, like $10 million. So if you just double a penny, the second day is 2 cents, the third day is only 4 cents. You're like, how can this be like 10 million? But if you do the math on it, that's what it kind of equates to. Well, it's the same kind of concept with, let's say you got to 5,000 personal volume. So like your 5,000 guaranteed. So that guarantees you $2,000 a month for 3 months in a row, just by getting to 5,000 personal volume this month. But then what happens is that's 24 customers. So 24 customers in 1 month, you're making 2 grand a month just off that. Some of them might want to become brand partners eventually, but a lot of those people you're plugging into Thursday. And they're getting edgy. They're like, oh my gosh, I need NAD plus. Oh my gosh, I'm losing weight. This stuff really works. Word of mouth, asking for referrals. Now you double it, let's say the second month. So you still have that 5,000 foundation, but now you're getting double the amount the second month. This is happening to a lot of you that are getting to that place. Now it compounds the second month to 10. Then you keep doing it. You don't stop. You're not like, oh, I'm rich now. No. But now you're making like 4 grand a month, not even counting anyone underneath you. And then the third month that you do it, you can make up to 6,000 to 7,000 a month your third month just by getting 5,000 personal volume every single month. You just keep adding to what you currently built the foundation on the first month. So by 90 days, you're already at almost $10,000 a month. All these people are having all this feedback for you. They're losing all this weight, and you're gathering information. So again, the first thing is you're gathering information that I talked about, the 6 ways to build your business. And I'll just kind of go back to that, just so everyone has it in the notes. So again, the 6 ways to simply ask is you're asking for information. So to build your business by asking, you have to ask for that information. So don't sign people up and forget about it. In your back office, when you log in to partner.lemd.com, you log into your back office, you're going to see your website who's looked at your website, and you're going to see all your customers. Okay. You could email them, you can reach out to them. So that's where you find them. And that's where you take notes on those people. Now, after you've done the 5,000 personal volume or even 2,000 or 3,000, whatever, you go from 20% to 25% after 500. Now you're going to, if you have a brand partner, now you're promoting that to your brand partner. So the way to make the most money, and I'll kind of close with this, the law of seven is to, in order for you to have three amazing organizational legs, is you need to get 21 personal brand partners. Okay, you guys see the visual on that? So 21. No one probably has ever taught you this because no one knows what I it's like. It's so weird, but it's 21. Boom, boom, boom. 21 frontline. Even if you're the greatest of all time or the worst of all time, you're going to still have three people that are smart enough to read their emails, even if you're the worst host or the worst, you're a travel agent instead of a tour guide. 3 out of 21 are going to be smart enough to actually, get on WhatsApp. They're going to get on onboarding, whatever. So now you have three active legs. So that in order for you to go to advanced executive director, you have to have three active legs. Out of the 21, remember, 6 times 3 is 18. So 18 out of the 21 people are not going to perform. They're not going to do anything. 18 out of 21. Now, mindset wise, there's so many people, I would say again, 80% of people or more are going to quit before they get to 21. Why are they going to quit? Because the pain of having 6 people quit is too much for them to bear. I don't know why they think like that, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault. Does that make sense to everybody? It's not your fault. So why would you take it so personally that you're going to quit the opportunity because 6 out of 7 people don't do what you thought they were going to do? And that's where you have to lose that and stop. Just discipline your disappointments, because that's not your fault. And by the way, that has nothing to do with you. So I'm not going to quit my future because 6 out of 7 people don't want this in their future, even though they kind of thought that they did. So if you can kind of get behind that and just understand that, yes, people are numbers in the very beginning. Okay, you're kind of just playing the number game in the very beginning, but then you're getting to know these people, getting a relationship with them. But at first, you have to think of the numbers. You can't just think, well, I just want to reach out to so-and-so and she's my best friend. And if she doesn't do it, I'm not going to do it. It's like, guys, you can't get emotional in business. How many times have we heard that on Shark Tank? I work with Kevin O'Leary. He is Mr. Wonderful. He is an incredible man, nicest guy you'll ever meet. But man, when it comes to business, he is not emotional. I've had dinner with him multiple times in Miami. He's an awesome dude. I've made a lot of money with him. He's really nice, but he's really kind, I should say, but he's direct. He's not emotional. He's not crying over spilt milk, okay? These Shark Tank guys, all these entrepreneurs, they're not worried who's going to quit, who's going to do it. They're just focused on, I'm going to run the numbers. I'm going to add value. I'm going to treat everyone the same. And when I do have someone that reaches back out to me, they're appreciative, they're grateful, they're excited, I'm going to get myself out of the way and make sure that they meet their support team, make sure that they're getting on the Zooms, make sure it's not about you either. I'm not trying to make this about me. Oh, I'm the leader, follow everything. No, I'm not trying to do that. That's why I promote Kelly Hoover. That's why I promote Shots of Joy. That's why I'm getting myself out of the way, because we're going to have a lot of women. And if I ran all the team calls, a lot of women would be like, where's all the women? But at the same time, we can't just have only women, because the men on the call are like, where's all the men? So that's why we have once a week our men's call and stuff like that. So if that makes sense, hopefully that does. And we have just a couple of minutes. Does anyone have any quick questions about anything that we addressed? I'm done with my lessons today. Hopefully it didn't go over your head, but it's just a way for you to, and you can do this in a year. There's no rush. You don't have to be like, I got to recruit 21 people this month. Oh my gosh, I have so much going on in my life. That's not absolutely what that is. You could do that in 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. You could do it in 2 days. Some of you will do it fast, some of you do it slow. But as long, I'm trying to be like Brene Brown says, clarity is kindness. I want to be clear with you, because that's the only way you're going to get 3 massive organizational legs. You can't just recruit. I mean, you could get lucky, but that's usually not how it works. Some people, you might just get lucky. You might get your 3 people, 3 out of 3. But I would not bet on it. Does anyone have any questions about any of that?
I don't have a question about that, but you said something in the beginning. You talked about 10, 10, 25.
Yes.
10 pages, 10,000 steps. I missed what the 25 was.
No. 10, 10, 10, 10. That's just my KPIs in my actual LE business. So that's 10 exposures a day, 5 days a week. So I'm exposed. I'm not saying you have to do this, but I'm just saying for me, I'm going to be talking to 10 people a day about the business or the customer side. I'm going to follow up with 10 people a day. And then I'm going to reach out to 25 brand partners on my team a day just to see how they're doing and say hi and help them.
Wonderful.
Yep. And then, and of course, I'm already reading my 10 pages a day. I'm already, all that stuff's extra, you know, but that's like my foundation on how to make money. So at the end of the day, that's the 10, 10, 20. So for you, it could be 5, 5, 5. Okay. It could be not you, Callie. I'm just saying in general for some of you, it could be 5 exposure a day, 5 reach outs a day. I would say bare minimum 5. Like if you're doing less than 5 a day, I mean, you're doing a little spare time, hardly anything, because it takes me like 10 minutes to reach out to 5 people a day. I mean, you're just, hey, how's it going? You know, sending 5 voicemails a day. I mean, it takes you 30 seconds. So it's not hard. It's just a matter of like, what are your assets? And one of the key things is if you're posting consistently on Facebook and Instagram, well, whoever's liking your post, go comment, go inbox them. Hey, thank you so much for liking my stuff. You know, I've seen your stuff. Wow, it looks like you're in shape. Are you on peptide? I mean, that's how simple it is. You know, anyone that watches your stories, reach out to all of them individually. Make a list of everyone that you know. It's not hard. I mean, we have so much assets in front of us. You have to kind of like, who do I know? I got Facebook, I got Instagram, I got LinkedIn. I'm posting on 5 or 6 different platforms a day. YouTube, you know, like we have access to billions of people worldwide, but you only really, obviously, it's only a United States of America thing. So there's 380 million people in America. All of those people are on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube or TikTok. So like I always encourage people, if you're going to make a reel, post Control C, Control V on all 5 platforms, including YouTube Shorts for 60 seconds. And that takes you 5 minutes a day too. So again, you can add all that too, but if you're not doing at least like your exposures, your follow-ups, and your team reach outs, it's like, you know, good luck to you. You're never going to do anything. That's the most important part. Does that make sense, everybody? Awesome. Any other questions? Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. I know we ran a little over an hour. Hopefully you got some value today. Definitely get the word out, you know, obviously with this stuff. And that's how you do it. So I don't know how to sugarcoat it. Like you definitely need to build the 21 legs. You need to plug everyone in. If that's only if you want to make 10 grand a month or more. Of course, you can make a lot of money just selling the peptides too. We didn't talk about that. We talked a little bit about the 5,000. So, but as far as building a team of leverage and you can really have tons of leverage in your life, that's how you do it. And I'm happy to help anytime. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much for being here.